Assalamu alaikum, sisters.
Wa alaikum salam. Amandine, check your messages.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Is there anyone that can pray, please, today? Because I can't. Prayer time. Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Maliki Yomadin, Yakana Buduwa Yakanastain, Hedana Sarata Mustaqim, Sarata Ladinta Anamta Alehim, Kairil Maktubi Alehim, Wala Dalin, Amin.
Amen. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah who came in the person of us for our Muhammad. And I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is our exalted Christ, and the honorable Minister Farrakhan is our Messiah. It's in their name that I greet you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, family. I'm going to share my screen, and then if there's anyone that would like to read, you can just type reader, and then, or just because I won't be able to see it, actually, you can just like unmute yourself and say that you want to read, and then I'll let you read, okay? I'm gonna share my screen, and then we'll start.
I can read. I just need one moment.
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you. Where did we stop, if you guys remember?
Chapter 28,
Yes,
verse 14.
okay, so I got it.
Yes, ma'am. Ahuzubullah Minash Shaitani Regime. Section 2, History of Moses. And when he attained his maturity and became full grown, we granted him wisdom and knowledge. And thus do we reward those who do good to others. And he went into the city at a time of carelessness on the part of its people, so he found therein two men fighting, one being of his party and the other of his foes. And he who was of his party cried out to him for help against him who was of his enemies. So Moses struck him with his fist and killed him. He said, "This is on account of the devil's doing. Surely he is an enemy, openly leading astray." He said, "My Lord, surely I have done harm to myself. So do thou protect me." So he protected him. Surely he is the forgiving the merciful. He said, My Lord, because thou hast bestowed a favor on me, I shall never be a backer of the guilty. And he was in the city fearing, awaiting, when lo, he who had asked his assistance the day before was crying out to him for help. Moses said to him, Thou art surely one erring manifestly. So when he desired to seize him, who was an enemy to them both, he said, O Moses, dost thou intend to kill me as thou didst kill a person yesterday? Thou only desirest to be a tyrant in the land, and thou desirest not to be of those who act aright. And a man came running from the remotest part of the city. He said, O Moses, the chiefs are consulting together to slay thee, so depart at once. Surely I am of those who wish thee well. So he went forth therefrom, fearing, awaiting. He said, My Lord, deliver me from the iniquitous people. Section 3, History of Moses. And when he turned his face towards Midian, he said, Maybe my Lord will guide me in the right path. And when he came to the water of Midian, he found there a group of men watering, and he found besides them 2 women keeping back their flocks. He said, What is the matter with you? They said, We cannot water until the shepherds take away their sheep from the water, and our father is a very old man. So he watered their sheep for them, then went back to the shade and said, My Lord, I stand in need of whatever good thou mayest send to me. Then one of the 2 women came to him walking bashfully. She said, My father invites thee that he may reward thee for having watered for us. So when he came to him and related to him the story, he said, Fear not, thou art secure from the iniquitous people. One of them said, O my father, employ him. Surely the best of those that thou canst employ is the strong, the faithful one. He said, I desire to marry one of these 2 daughters of mine to thee on condition that thou serve me for 8 years. But if thou complete 10, it will be of thy own free will, and I wish not to be hard on thee. If Allah please, thou wilt find me one of the righteous. He said, That is agreed between me and thee. Whichever of the 2 terms I fulfill, there will be no injustice to me, and Allah is surety over what we say. Section 4, History of Moses. Then when Moses had completed the term and was traveling with his family, he perceived a fire on the side of the mountain. He said to his family, Wait, I see a fire. Maybe I will bring to you from it some news or a brand of fire so that you may warm yourselves. And when he came to it, he was called from the right side of the valley in the blessed spot of the bush. O Moses, surely I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds, and cast down thy rod. So when he saw it in motion as if it were a serpent, he turned away, retreating, and looked not back. O Moses, come forward and fear not. Surely thou art of those who are secure. Insert thy hand into thy bosom, it will come forth white without evil, and remain calm in fear. These 2 are 2 arguments from thy Lord to Pharaoh and his chiefs. Surely they are a transgressing people. He said, My Lord, I killed one of them, so I fear lest they slay me. And my brother Aaron, he is more eloquent in speech than I, so send him with me as a helper to confirm me. Surely I fear that they would reject me. He said, we will strengthen thine arm with thy brother, and we will give you both an authority, so that they shall not reach you. With our signs, you too and those who follow you will triumph. So when Moses came to them with our clear signs, they said, this is nothing but forged enchantment, and we never heard of it among our fathers of old. And Moses said, my Lord knows best who comes with guidance from him, and whose shall be the good end of the abode. Surely the wrongdoers will not be successful. And Pharaoh said, O chiefs, I know no God for you besides myself. So kindle a fire for me, O Haman, on bricks of clay, then prepare for me a lofty building, so that I may obtain knowledge of Moses' God, and surely I think him a liar. Say, then bring some other book from Allah, which is a better guide than these two. I will follow it if you are truthful. But if they answer thee not, know that they only follow their low desires. And who is more erring than he who follows his low desires without any guidance from Allah? Surely Allah guides not the iniquitous people. Section 6, the truth of revelation. And certainly we have made the word to have many connections for their sake, so that they may be mindful. Those to whom we gave the book before it, they are believers in it. And when it is recited to them, they say, we believe in it. Surely it is the truth from our Lord. We were indeed before this submitting ones. These will be granted their reward twice, because they are steadfast and they repel evil with good.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Sister Mariama. What verse are you on, please?
Surah 28, we can say verse 53. And when it is recited to them, they say, we believe in it. Surely it is the truth from our Lord. We were indeed before this submitting ones. These will be granted their reward twice, because they are steadfast and they repel evil with good and spend out of what we have given them. And when they hear idle talk, they turn aside from it and say, for us are our deeds, and for you, your deeds. Peace be to you. We desire not the ignorant. Surely thou canst not guide whom thou lovest, but Allah guides whom he pleases, and he knows best those who walk aright. And they say, if we follow the guidance with thee, we should be carried off from our country. Have we not settled them in a safe, sacred territory, to which fruits of every kind are drawn, a sustenance from us? But most of them know not. And how many a town have we destroyed, which exulted in its means of subsistence? So those are their abodes. They have not been dwelt in after them except a little, and we are ever the inheritors. And thy Lord never destroyed the towns until he had raised in their metropolis a messenger, reciting to them our messages, and we never destroyed the towns, except when their people were iniquitous. And whatever things you have been given are only a provision of this world's life and its adornment, and whatever is with Allah is better and more lasting. Do you not then understand? Section 7, opponents shall be brought low. Is he to whom we have promised a goodly promise, which he will meet with, like whom we have provided with the provisions of this world's life? Then on the day of resurrection, he will be of those brought up for punishment. And the day when he will call them and say, where are those whom you deem to be my associates? Those against whom the word has proved true will say, our Lord, these are they whom we caused to deviate. We caused them to deviate as we ourselves deviated. We declare our innocence before thee. Us they never worshipped. And it will be said, call your associate gods. So they will call upon them, but they will not answer them, and they will see the chastisement. Would that they had followed the right way. And the day he will call them, then say, what was the answer you gave to the messengers? On that day, excuses will become obscure to them, so they will not ask each other. But as to him who repents and believes and does good, maybe he will be among the successful. And thy Lord creates and chooses whom he pleases. To choose is not theirs. Glory be to Allah, and exalted be he above what they associate with him. And thy Lord knows what their breasts conceal and what they proclaim. And he is Allah. There is no God but he. His is the praise in this life and the hereafter, and his is the judgment, and to him you will be brought back. Say, do you see if Allah were to make the night to continue incessantly on you till the day of resurrection, who is the God besides Allah who could bring you light? Will you not then hear? Say, do you see if Allah were to make the day to continue incessantly on you till the day of resurrection, who is the God besides Allah that could bring you the night in which you take rest? Do you not then see? And out of his mercy, he has made for you the night and the day, that you may rest therein, and that you may seek of his grace, and that you may give thanks. And the day when he will call them and say, where are my associates whom you pretended? And we shall draw forth from among every nation a witness and say, bring your proof. Then shall they know that the truth is Allah's, and that which they forged will fail them. Section 6. Korah's wealth leads him to ruin. Korah was surely of the people of Moses, but he oppressed them, and we gave him treasures, so much so that his hoards of wealth would weigh down a body of strong men. When his people said to him, exult not, surely Allah loves not the exultant, and seek the abode of the hereafter by means of what Allah has given thee, and neglect not thy portion of the world, and do good to others as Allah has done good to thee, and seek not to make mischief in the land. Surely Allah loves not the mischief makers. He said, I have been given this only on account of the knowledge I have. Did he not know that Allah had destroyed before him generations who were mightier in strength than he and greater in assemblage? And the guilty are not questioned about their sins. So he went forth to his people in his finery. Those who desired this world's life said, oh, would that we had the like of what Korah is given. Surely he is possessed of mighty good fortune. But those who were given the knowledge said, woe to you! Allah's reward is better for him who believes and does good, and none is made to perceive this except the patient. So we made the earth to swallow him up in his abode. He had no host to help him against Allah, nor was he of those who can defend themselves. And those who had yearned for his place the day before began to say, know that Allah amplifies and straightens the means of subsistence for whom he pleases of his servants. Had not Allah been gracious to us, he would have abased us. Know that the ungrateful are never successful. Section 9. The Prophet will return to Mecca. That abode of the hereafter, we assign it to those who have no desire to exalt themselves in the earth, nor to make mischief. And the good end is for those who keep their duty. Whoever brings good, he will have better than it. And whoever brings evil, those who do evil will be requited only for what they did. He who has made the Quran binding on thee will surely bring thee back to the place of return. Say, my Lord knows best him who has brought the guidance and him who is in manifest error. And thou didst not expect that the book would be inspired to thee, but it is a mercy from thy Lord. So be not a backer up of the disbelievers, and let them not turn thee aside from the messages of Allah after they have been revealed to thee, and call men to thy Lord, and be not of the polytheists. And call not with Allah any other God. There is no God but he. Everything will perish but he. His is the judgment, and to him you will be brought back. Should I stop here? This is the end of my reading. May Allah forgive me if I made a mistake. Allahu Akbar.
All praise be to Allah. Thank you so much, Sister Mariama, for the reading. Is there anyone else that would like to read today?
Sister Octavia?
Okay.
Oh, I apologize. I thought I saw a 1. I can continue.
Oh, you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And whenever you stop, I can continue, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Sister Ebony. Sister Ebony will be right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So, Sister Mariama, do you want to continue, and finish your section?
Sure, I'll read chapter 29 and then I'll stop.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And then Sister Ebony, you can go right ahead, okay?
Okay. Chapter 29, Al-Ankabut, the Spider. Section 1, Trials Purify. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I, Allah, am the best knower. Do men think that they will be left alone on saying, we believe and will not be tried? And indeed, we tried those before them. So Allah will certainly know those who are true, and he will know the liars. Or do they work evil, thinking that they will escape us? Evil is it that they judge. Whoever hopes to meet with Allah, the term of Allah is then surely coming, and he is the hearing, the knowing. And whoever strives hard strives for himself. Surely Allah is self-sufficient above need of his creatures. And those who believe and do good, we shall certainly do away with their afflictions and reward them for the best of what they did. And we have enjoined on man goodness to his parents. But if they contend with thee to associate others with me, of which thou hast no knowledge, obey them not. To me is your return, so I will inform you of what you did. And those who believe and do good, we shall surely make them enter among the righteous. And among men is he who says, we believe in Allah, but when he is persecuted for the sake of Allah, he thinks the persecution of men to be as the chastisement of Allah. And if there comes help from thy Lord, they will say, surely we were with you. Is not Allah the best knower of what is in the hearts of mankind? And certainly Allah will know those who believe, and he will know the hypocrites. And those who disbelieve say to those who believe, follow our path, and we will bear your wrongs. And they can never bear aught of their wrongs. Surely they are liars. And they will certainly bear their own burdens and other burdens besides their own burdens, and they will certainly be questioned on the day of resurrection as to what they forged. Section 2, Noah and Abraham. And we indeed sent Noah to his people, so he remained among them 1,000 years, save 50 years. And the deluge overtook them, and they were wrongdoers. So we delivered them. So we delivered him and the inmates of the ark, and made it a sign to the nations. And we sent Abraham when he said to his people, serve Allah and keep your duty to him. That is better for you, if you did but know. You only worship idols besides Allah, and you invent a lie. Surely they whom you serve besides Allah control no sustenance for you. So seek sustenance from Allah and serve him, and be grateful to him. To him you will be brought back. And if you reject, nations before you did indeed reject the truth, and the duty of the messenger is only to deliver the message plainly. See they not how Allah originates the creation, then reproduces it? Surely that is easy to Allah. Say, travel in the earth, then see how he makes the first creation, then Allah creates the latter creation. Surely Allah is possessor of power over all things. He chastises whom he pleases, and has mercy on whom he pleases, and to him you will be brought back, you will be turned back. And you cannot escape in the earth nor in the heaven, and you have no protector or helper besides Allah. Section 3, Abraham and Lot. And those who disbelieve in the messages of Allah and the meeting with him, they despair of my mercy, and for them is a painful chastisement. So not was the answer of his people, except that they said, slay him or burn him. But Allah delivered him from the fire. Surely therein are signs for a people who believe. And he said, you have only taken idols besides Allah, by way of friendship between you in this world's life. Then on the day of resurrection, some of you will deny others, and some of you will curse others, and your abode is the fire, and you will have no helpers. So Lot believed in him, and he said, I am fleeing to my Lord. Surely he is the mighty, the wise. And we granted him Isaac and Jacob, and ordained prophethood in the book among his seed. And we gave him his reward in this world, and in the hereafter he will surely be among the righteous. And we sent Lot when he said to his people, surely you are guilty of an abomination which none of the nations has done before you. Do you come to males and commit robbery on the highway and commit evil deeds in your assemblies? But the answer of his people was only that they said, bring on us Allah's chastisement if thou art truthful. He said, my Lord, help me against the mischievous people. Section 4, Opposition to Truth Ever a Failure. And when our messengers came to Abraham with good news, they said, we are going to destroy the people of this town, for its people are iniquitous. He said, surely in it is Lot. They said, we know well who is in it. We shall certainly deliver him and his followers except his wife. She is of those who remain behind. And when our messengers came to Lot, he was grieved on account of them, and he lacked strength to protect them. And they said, fear not, nor grieve. Surely we will deliver thee and thy followers except thy wife. She is of those who remain behind. Surely we are going to bring down upon the people of this town a punishment from heaven because they transgressed. And certainly we have left a clear sign of it for a people who understand. And to Midian we sent their brother Shoaib. So he said, O my people, serve Allah and fear the latter day, and act not corruptly, making mischief in the land. But they rejected him, so a severe earthquake overtook them, and they lay prostrate in their abodes. And Ad and Thamud, and some of their dwellings are indeed apparent to you, and the devil made their deeds fair seeming to them. So he kept them back from the path, and they could see clearly. and Korah and Pharaoh and Haman. And certainly Moses came to them with clear arguments, but they behaved haughtily in the land, and they could not outstrip us. So each one we punished for his sin. Of them was he on whom we sent a violent storm, and of them was he whom the rumbling overtook, and of them was he whom we caused the earth to swallow, and of them was he whom we drowned. And it was not Allah who wronged them, but they wronged themselves. The parable of those who take guardians besides Allah is as the parable of the spider that makes for itself a house. And surely the frailest of the houses is the spider's house, if they but knew. Surely Allah knows whatever they call upon besides him, and he is the mighty, the wise. And these parables, we set them forth for men, and none understand them but the learned. Allah created the heavens and the earth with truth. Surely there is a sign in this for the believers. Part 21, Section 5. The Quran is a purifier. Recite that which has been revealed to thee of the book and keep up prayer. Surely prayer keeps one away from indecency and evil, and certainly the remembrance of Allah is the greatest force, and Allah knows what you do. And argue not with the people of the book, except by what is best, save such of them as act unjustly. But say, we believe in that which has been revealed to us and revealed to you, and our God and your God is one, and to him we submit. And thus have we revealed the book to thee. So those whom we have given the book believe in it, and of these there are those who believe in it, and none deny our messages except the disbelievers. And thou didst not recite before it any book, nor didst thou transcribe one with thy right hand, for then could the liars have doubted. Nay, it is clear messages in the hearts of those who are granted knowledge, and none deny our messages except the iniquitous. And they say, why are not signs sent down upon him from his Lord? Say, signs are with Allah only, and I am only a plain warner. Is it not enough for them that we have revealed to thee the book which is recited to them? Surely there is mercy in this and a reminder for a people who believe. Section 6, Warning and Consolation. Say, Allah is sufficient as a witness between me and you. He knows what is in the heavens and the earth, and those who believe in falsehood and disbelieve in Allah, these it is that are the losers. And they asked thee to hasten on the chastisement, and had not a term been appointed, the chastisement would certainly have come to them, and certainly it will come to them all of a sudden, while they perceive not. They ask thee to hasten on the chastisement, and surely hell encompasses the disbelievers. The day when the chastisement will cover them from above them and from beneath their feet, and he will say, taste what you did. O my servants who believe, surely my earth is vast, so serve me only. Every soul must taste of death, then to us you will be returned. And those who believe and do good, we shall certainly give them an abode in high places in the garden wherein flow rivers, abiding therein. Excellent the reward of the workers, who are patient, and on their Lord they rely. And how many a living creature carries not its sustenance? Allah sustains it and yourselves, and he is the hearing, the knowing. And if thou ask them, who created the heavens and the earth and made the sun and the moon subservient, they would say, Allah. Whence are they then turned away? Allah makes abundant the means of subsistence for whom he pleases of his servants, or straightens them for him. Surely Allah is knower of all things. And if thou ask them, who is it that sends down water from the clouds, then gives life to the earth with it after its death? They will say, Allah. Say, praise be to Allah. Nay, most of them understand not. Section 7, Triumph of the Faithful. And the life of this world is but a sport and a play, and the home of the hereafter that surely is the life, did they but know. So when they ride in the ships, they call upon Allah, being sincerely obedient to him. But when he brings them safe to the land, lo, they associate others with him, that they may be ungrateful for what we have given them, and that they may enjoy. But they shall soon know. See they not that we have made a sacred territory secure while men are carried off by force from them? Will they still believe in the falsehood and disbelieve in the favor of Allah? And who is more iniquitous than one who forges a lie against the law, or gives the lie to the truth when it has come to him? Is there not an abode in hell for the disbelievers and those who strive hard for us? We shall certainly guide them in our ways, and Allah is surely with the doers of good. Now that ends my part of the reading. Sister Ebony, may Allah forgive me if I've made a mistake. Sister Ebony.
I, Allah, am the best knower. The Romans are vanquished in a near land, and they, after they're defeated, will gain victory. Within 9 years, Allah's is the command before and after. And on that day, the believers will rejoice. On that day, the believers will rejoice in Allah's help. He helps whom he pleases, and he is the mighty, the merciful. It is Allah's promise. Allah will not fail his promise, but most people know not. They know that outward of this world's life, but of the hereafter they are heedless. Do they not reflect within themselves? Allah did not create the heavens and the earth and what is between them, but with truth, and for an appointed term, and surely most of the people are deniers of the meeting with their Lord. Have they not traveled in the earth and seen what was the end of those before them? They were stronger than these in prowess, and dug up the earth and built on it more than these have built. And their messengers came to them with clear arguments. So it was not Allah who wronged them, but they wronged themselves. Then evil was the end of those who did evil, because they rejected the messages of Allah and mocked at them. Allah originates the creation, then produces it, then to him you will be returned. And the day when the hour comes, the guilty will despair, and they will have no intercessors from among their associate gods, and they will deny their associate gods. And the day when the hour comes, the day they will be separated one from the other. Then, as to those who believed and did good, they will be made happy in a garden. And as for those who disbelieved and rejected our messages and the meeting of the hereafter, they will be brought to chastisement. So glory be to Allah when you enter the evening and when you enter the morning. And to him be praise in the heavens and the earth, and in the afternoon and when the sun declines. He brings forth the living from the dead, and brings forth the dead from the living, and gives life to the earth after its death. And thus you will be brought forth. And of his signs is this, that he created you from dust. Then lo, you are mortals who scatter. And of his signs is this, that he created mates for you from yourselves, and that you might find quiet of mind in them. And he put between you love and compassion. Surely there are signs in this for the people who reflect. And of his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your tongues and colors. Surely there are signs in this for the learned. And of his signs is your sleep by night and by day. And of his signs is your sleep by night and by day, and your seeking of his bounty. Surely there are signs in this for people who would hear. And of his signs is this, that he shows you the lightning for fear and for hope, and sends down water from the cloud, then gives life therewith to the earth after its death. Surely there are signs in this for people who understand. And of his signs is this, that the heaven and the earth subsist by his command. Then when he calls you from the earth, lo, you come forth. And his is whosoever is in the heavens and the earth, all are obedient to him. And he it is who originates the creation, then reproduces it. And it is very easy to him, and his is the most exalted state in the heavens and the earth, and he is the mighty, the wise. He sets forth to you a parable related to yourselves. Have you among those whom your right hand possesses partners in that which we have provided you with, so that with respect to it you are alike? You fear them as you fear each other. Thus do we make the message clear for the people who understand. Nay, those who are unjust follow their low desires without any knowledge. So who can guide him whom Allah leaves in error? And they shall have no helpers. So set thy face for religion being upright, the nature made by Allah in which he created men. There is no altering Allah's creation. That is the right religion, but most people know not. Turning to him and keep your duty to him and keep up your prayer and be not of the polytheists. Of those who split up their religion and become parties, every sect rejoicing in that which is with it. And when harm afflicts men, they call upon their Lord, turning to him. And when he makes them taste of mercy from him, lo, some of them begin to associate others with their Lord, so as to be ungrateful for that which we have given them. So enjoy yourself a while, you will soon come to know. Or have we sent to them an authority so that it speaks of that which they associate with him? And when we make people taste of mercy, they rejoice in it. And if an evil befall them for what their hands have already wrought, lo, they despair. See they not that Allah enlarges provisions and straightens it for whom he pleases. Certainly there are signs in this for people who believe. So give the near of kin his due, and to the needy and the wayfarer. This is best for those who desire Allah's pleasure, and these it is who are successful. And whatever you lay out at usury, so that it may increase in the property of men, it increases not with Allah. And whatever you give in charity, desiring Allah's pleasure, this will get manifold. Allah is he who created you, then he sustains you, then he causes you to die, then brings you to life. Is there any of your associate gods who does aught of it? Glory be to him, and exalted be he above what they associate with him. Corruption has appeared in the land and the sea on account of that which men's hands have wrought, that he may make them taste a part of that which they have done, so that they may return. Say, travel in the land. Say, travel in the land, then see what was the end of those before. Most of them were polytheists. Then set thyself being upright to the right religion before there come from Allah the day which cannot be averted. On that day they will be separated. Whoever disbelieves will be responsible for his disbelief, and whoever does good, such prepare good for their own souls, that he may reward out of his grace those who believe and do good. Surely he loves not the disbelievers. And of his signs is this, that he sends forth the winds bearing good news, and that he may make you taste of his mercy, and that the ships may glide by his command, and that you may seek his grace, and that you may be grateful. And certainly we sent before thee messengers to their people, so they came to them with clear arguments. Then we punished those who were guilty. And to help disbelievers is ever incumbent to, ever incumbent on us. Allah is he who sends forth the winds, so they raise a cloud. Then he spreads it forth in the sky as he pleases, and he breaks it, so that you see the rain coming forth from inside it. Then, when he causes it to fall upon whom he pleases of his servants, lo, they rejoice. Though they were before this, before it was set down upon them, in sure despair. Look then at the signs of Allah's mercy, how he gives life to the earth after its death. Surely he is the quickener of the dead, and he is possessor of power over all things. And if we send a wind and they see it yellow, they would after then certainly continue to disbelieve. So surely thou canst not make the dead to hear, nor canst thou make the deaf to hear the call when they turn back retreating, nor canst thou guide the blind out of their error. Thou canst make none to hear but those who believe in our messages, so they submit. Allah is he who created you from a state of weakness. Then he gave strength after weakness, then ordained weakness and hoary hair after strength. He created what he pleases, and he is the knowing, the powerful. And the day when the hour comes, the guilty will swear that they not tarry, but an hour, thus are they ever turned away. And those who are given knowledge and faith will say, certainly you tarried according to the ordinance of Allah till the day of resurrection. So this is the day of resurrection, but you did not know. So that day, their excuse will not profit those who were unjust, nor will they be granted goodwill. And certainly we have set forth for men in this Quran every kind of parable. And if thou bring them a sign, those who disbelieve would certainly say, you were not but deceivers. Thus does Allah seal the hearts of those who know not. So be patient. Surely the promise of Allah is true. And let not those disquiet thee who have no certainty. I, Allah, am the best knower. These are verses of the Book of Wisdom, a guidance and a mercy for those doers of good, who keep up prayer and pay the poor rate, and who are certain of the hereafter. These are on a guidance from their Lord, and these are they who are successful. And of men is he who takes instead frivolous discourse to lead astray from Allah's path, without knowledge, and to make it a mockery. For such is an abasing chastisement. And when our messages are recited to him, he turns back proudly, as if he had not heard them, as if there were deafness in his ears. So announce to him a painful chastisement. Those who believe and do good for them are gardens of bliss, to abide therein, a promise of Allah in truth, and he is the mighty, the wise. He created the heavens without pillars that you see, and cast mountains on earth, lest it should be convulsed with you. And he spread on it animals of every kind, and we send down water from the clouds, their cause to grow therein of every noble kind. This is Allah's creation. Now show me that which those beside him have created. Nay, the unjust are in manifest error. And certainly we have Luqman wisdom, saying, give thanks to Allah, and whoever is thankful for his own soul. And whoever denies, then surely Allah is self-sufficient praised. And when Luqman said to his son, while he admonished him, O my son, ascribe no partner to Allah. Surely ascribing partners to him is a grievous iniquity. Yes, ma'am. And we have enjoined on man concerning his parents. His mother bears him with faintings upon faintings, and his weaning takes 2 years, saying, Give thanks to me and to thy parents. To me is the eventual coming. And if they strive with thee to make thee associate with me, that of which thou hast no knowledge, obey them not, and keep kindly company with them in this world, and follow the way of him who turns to me. Then to me is your return. Then I shall inform you of what you did. O my son, even if it be the weight of a grain of a mustard seed, even though it be a rock, or in the heavens, or in the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Surely Allah is knower of subtleties, aware. O my son, keep up prayer and enjoin good and forbid evil, and bear patiently that which befalls thee. Surely this is an affair of a great resolution. And turn not thy face away from the people in contempt, nor go about in the land exultingly. Surely Allah loves not any self-conceited boaster. And pursue the right course, and in thy going about, and lower thy voice. Surely the most hateful of voices is the braying of asses. I'm stopping there, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your reading, Sister Ebony and Sister Mariama. I really appreciate you. It was absolutely beautiful. Does anyone have any comments, please? Type the number 1 if you have any comments. So Jessica, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So it's just really short. I can't help but to dwell on the word hereafter, because hereafter farms is how or who, not necessarily. Okay, so I found Allah kind of in a way through hereafter farms. I found like-minded people that was looking for land to help build a community and have our own resources. I've already had a lot of resources in Africa and other countries and states. And then all of a sudden one year, I think it was 2021, I seen Hereafter Farms, and they had, I think it was 27 acres of land at first. Then I'm like, oh, okay, great. These are Black people. They're getting land for the community. I like the vibe, not knowing that they were in the nation, or some were in the nation. And so I started following them, and then the amount of land grew so fast. And so I reached out to them, and then I spoke to Brother Farrakhan personally, and then I was invited to the ribbon cutting in another land that was denied us. But the mission of it all is the separation and the hereafter. And knowing what's going on in the world, it doesn't scare me, but it makes me want to move even faster with what we're doing. And we are in a sense, everything is in Allah's timing, but it's just like the hereafter. It's like we have to build, and we are building. We're building schools, communities, grocery stores, hospitals. We already have most equipment for most things. it's just the small building process and a few things that we have to grow through in order to get the full thrive off of the hereafter. And so I'm just so grateful and so thankful that Allah has guided me to him through this mission, because I'm such a lover of all things and people. And it's just such a great thing. And I'm like, Allah, how do I relay your messages to my followers? Because I don't follow, I mean, I follow a lot of believers, but like the people who follow me aren't. And I'm just like, just be the clean glass, what they say in the master call, just be the clean glass next to the dirty glass, and then just be that example. And I'm sorry, I'll get emotional, so forgive me. Just growing through this process, being part of this class, learning about the Quran, just so and I'm in awe listening to just the steps and the process that I'm in, because it's like Allah really sets your life in order through what he wants you to do. And it's just like because you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But he's like, no, you're going to do what I tell you to do. And so everything is just such a beautiful lesson. And I'm really happy that I'm in this class. Happy that I'm learning about Allah and learning more about myself, and that I'm a part of the hereafter. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Beautiful, beautiful. That was so good, Sister Jessica. Yes, ma'am. And you're bringing up the hereafter farm is really personally for me encouraging me. I've always seen it, and I haven't been able to like invest yet, but it's such a worthy cause. And yes, the hereafter is now, okay, and we are building it right now. Thank you so much for that. And Sister Ebony, go ahead, sis.
Assalamu alaikum. So for me, this morning, for some reason, the story about Lot and his wife, it kind of like, I guess I kind of just took it in a little differently this morning, where I guess in the past, I kind of saw it from the perspective of her. But this morning, I saw it from the perspective of him, of Lot, and how it was a trial for him. It wasn't just easy because he wanted to follow Allah. It wasn't just easy for him to leave his wife behind, but he held firm to what he believed, and he stood firm on his belief and his obedience. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing. And then there was another part where like throughout the Quran, it says, Allah's promise is real if we submit and if we keep up prayer and we're not of the polytheists, etc. So that was just like a testament to that. There was another part, and forgive me, I don't remember like which chapters and stuff this was all in, but I just kind of took a mental note where he speaks about the heavens and the earth and all that he created in it, and that it's for us. And that just was like reaffirming to me, because I just have this like deep connection to nature, and I'm beginning more and more to understand it through my obedience to Allah. And I've always went to nature in different ways, when I feel a certain way, or when I need, I guess comfort or something like that, and yeah, Allah's just showing me that, that's a gift for us, you know what I mean? And in every way, like in healing and in, just being like an optimal, like human kind of thing, and that like how important that separation really is, because, Satan has made this world within Allah's world, and Allah created the nature, and that's like in my mind, that's like the real world. And then Satan's world is like, you know, the the GMO world. And it goes beyond just food. You know, it's how we operate, it's how we do things, because we've essentially, like, you know, been brought up. And, you know, yeah, I'm not going to go all the way there, but yeah. And then there was the last part that I want to mention was, there was a part where it said something along the lines of, the disbelievers have trials, but it's not a trial from Allah. It's basically a trial of themselves. And please, I'm sure I'm not saying the right words, but how I took it is like, you know, when we go against what we know, it's not necessarily Allah, you know, punishing us, but it's us punishing ourselves, because we know the right thing to do, and we've been told, and we've accepted the right thing to do, and like we're not doing the right thing. So yeah, we can blame Allah ultimately, you know. It's a part of his, you know, permissive will, but it is, the onus is on us to, you know, do the right thing and make the right decisions. And sometimes the whipping is of our own creation. And yeah, that is it. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Sister Ebony. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yes, ma'am. And same for me. I would say that I love nature, and it's a place of comfort, and one of the best places for me to remind myself of Allah's promise and Allah's existence, and being aware. Sometimes when we close ourselves in the house and there's no sunlight, it's like a depressive state. But then as soon as we walk outside, we are reminded of everything Allah created. And I feel like it's such a blessing. Sister Mariama, go ahead, sis.
Assalamu alaikum. I think I'll just start to camelback off of the idea of nature that you're speaking of, because yesterday there's trees outside of our home, and our window was wide open. It was a beautiful day. It was like springtime, and the trees were just croaking and moaning, and just, it sounded like a duck, like a quack, quack, quack. And my neighbor, I've heard her mention before that she has a relationship to the trees. And so I just messaged her, like, do you hear that? And she's like, oh, when I get home from work, I'll see what you're saying. But I see that she had sent out her mother and her toddler to just witness, and they were just sitting out on their deck for a while. And I was like, wow, it's just a peaceful day. Later on, she messages me like, okay, just got home, and I heard or witnessed a little bit of what you were saying, but then it stopped. And so her response to me was, the trees were worshiping God. And I said, you know what? Wow. I'm thinking, okay, I look up on Google, and, it says, oh yeah, tree is about to break or something like that. And I was like, yeah, well, some of them are already bowing down, but I'm like, but they just got trimmed or cut not long ago. So it just was so curious to me, but I accepted what she said. And so it's interesting because I felt it, and I was like, well, my response after her mention of when she'll respond when she gets home was, oh, it's such a peaceful day. I'm observing the outdoor nature with my son because of the croaking. And then I look out and I see now my neighbors are called out, and they're taller, and they're just observing the sound. And in the beginning of the reading, Allah keeps mentioning about lightning, that it brings terror, but it also brings hope. He mentions just the weather so much that it's from him. He mentioned earthquakes, and that he causes, Lord have mercy, he causes earthquakes. And this is not where I was going with my comment, or I thought I was going with my comment, but it made me think about Turkey again, that we see these things as travesties, but really for those who know or have this knowledge, it's like a shock of a moment. It's a shock of an hour. It's I mean, that's what I'm likening it to in my mind of like, wow, okay, what's important in life? Like, is this a sign from Allah to straighten us right back where we are in our doings? And so that brings me to just thinking about the last section that Sister Ebony read, Luqman's advice to his son. And it starts off saying, and certainly we gave Luqman wisdom, saying, give thanks to Allah, and whoever is thankful for his own soul. And whoever denies, then surely Allah is self-sufficient praised. And when Luqman said to his son while he admonished him, "O my son, ascribe no partner to Allah. Surely ascribing partners to him is a grievous iniquity." It seems like that right there, ascribing partners to Allah, is the number one thing that Allah cannot stand. He clearly repeats it. And as I am with my son and I'm learning how he learns and how children learn, it's repetition. And Allah is using a lot of repetition in this book. So he talks about giving thanks, but also do not ascribe others to him. We can do it if we want to, but he's basically saying not to do it. And that was just a sign to me. And then another, I'm starting to realize like, okay, what do I ascribe to? I think that's the word that I just accepted, that I've heard. And one of them, coming into motherhood is, I just see this as my, mothering season, is that there's no book for parenthood, or there's no book for parenting. I hear that all the time. But it's interesting in this part right here, Luqman is giving us, in us being able to witness what Luqman advised his son, this last section. So it starts from Surah 31, verse 12 through 19. He's giving some sound advice. I'm like, I could literally probably look at this, put this in a letter for my son, and thinking about the hereafter, Dr. Ava said that if we want raising the children, Dr. Ava, may Allah be pleased with her, she said maybe a couple years ago that we have to think 30 years ahead and then make a trail, like raise our children for what our vision looks like in 30 years. Oh, that's major. And it was major for me because my son was, I think, under 1 at the time. And so I said, oh, Allah just keeps dropping gems if I just pay attention to life. And then looking at this section right here, I'm like, oh, Allah's given us the vision right here. And then, I see how my son is so talented. And I'm thankful to Allah for guiding me. Praise be to Allah. To witness what these little sponges and recorders can take in. And praise be to Allah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a part in here too where he warns the son. He says in verse 18, "And turn not thy face away from people in contempt, nor go about in the land exultingly. Surely Allah loves not any self-conceited boaster." So, just being a Muslim, Mr. Ishmael says it all the time, just be a Muslim all the way through and through. And if the children practice it from such a young age, and if we know this, like me reading this and seeing it brand new eyes, through brand new mother eyes, and I realize Allah has given me sons, I'm like, oh, Allah, thank you for your signs, because you're showing me how to be more humble, showing me the trail to be thankful, and not ascribe any partners with him. And he's showing me how to be an example to my sons. And so I'm not going to worry, even though there's so much propaganda out here about mothers, toxic mothers, and mothers, doing wrong today. I don't need to ascribe to that. My mind needs to go forward into the hereafter. So, alhamdulillah.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sister Mariam. That was really, really good. I want to I'm going to put a number 1. I want to point out also from the same section, something that I noticed. Oh my son, chapter 31, verse 16. Oh my son, even it be the weight of a grain of mustard seed, even though it be in a rock, or in the heaven, or in the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Surely Allah is knower of subtleties, aware. And it doesn't say what it is. If anyone has understanding of it be, but to me, it's like anything, whatever it is. That's how I understand it. That we have in our hearts, Allah is knower of it, and Allah will bring it forth. And yes, I think it's beautiful that Allah will bring it, even if it's hidden, even if it's small, even if it's really, really in the heaven. To me, it's really, really high, like put really, really high, or in the earth, even if we dig really, really in the earth, Allah will bring it forth. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And it doesn't say that it's a bad thing or a good thing. So no matter what it is, it will be brought forth. All praise be to Allah. Anyone else? Any comments? Any comments, sisters?
Can I share something?
Yes, of course. Yes, ma'am.
So I had to look up that word subtlety because I didn't know the word. And the definition is like, now it's a noun. It means obsolete, cunning, skill, craft, like slyness in design. And I thought that was pretty beautiful, because to me that means that, like Allah is, as we know, like a master crafter, and what we have in our minds will come, and sometimes it doesn't come necessarily how we have it in our minds, because we are not the master crafter, but the way that he brings forth these things are so masterful, and so sometimes just nonsense to the thinking mind, to our limited thinking mind. However, to him and his abilities, he just puts it all together and brings it together in the most beautiful, craftful kind of way. Yeah.
Wow. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. Yes. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's good to know. Actually, I thought I understood subtlety, and then reading the definition, it's different from what I actually imagined. So thank you for pointing that out. Definitely needed that definition. Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Sister Ebony. Any other comments, sisters? Okay, Sister Aisha said, the lightning being the fear and the hope has great meaningful and significant. Light can either blind you, or far away in the storm can help you to see. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely true. Has a great meaning. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's beautiful. Yep. As I noticed that too about the lightning. And yes, ma'am, that's beautiful. Thank you for that comment. That was good. Any other comments, sisters? Yes, Sister Jessica. Go ahead, sis.
So this is not really about what we read, but I just wanted to mention to all of the sisters with children, we will be setting up a sighting slash teaching for the children at Hereafter Farms this summer with the bees, because I am the beekeeper for Hereafter Farms as well. And my daughter's 3, and she doesn't wear a bee suit at all. And she loves the bees. And the bees love her. Like speaking about nature, and everyone's talking about how nature is so loving and flowing, and a part of God and a part of us. The bees really show that. And the bees know that she's a child because she's just carelessly swinging and trying to scoop them up with spoons, and saying she's dancing with them, but they don't sting her. They just, tap her on the nose, crawl on her shoulder, and she's like, it's on me, it's on me. I'm like, yes. And she's like, the bee kissed my face. And I'm like, they love you. And so I just wanted to mention that we will be hosting families and children. It's mainly for the children to learn about the nature of bees. And I might try to allow them to kind of harvest their own like little sample of honey too. Inshallah, that might work out. But I just wanted to throw that little note out there.
Beautiful, beautiful, sis. That sounds amazing. And please, like Sister Mariama just wrote in the chat, please post all the information in the IG chat, like the location and everything, please, so that we know for a fact, and we have the information. We can save it on our phones. Will you be able to do that? Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. That is so beautiful. Oh, praise be to Allah. And any other comments, sisters, before we conclude? Are you sure? Okay. Is there anyone that is available to pray for us for our conclusion today, please? Yes. Would you like to pray, Sister Jessica? Would you like to pray for us as we conclude? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So
Thank you.
if you don't mind reminding me which prayer you prayed after like a meeting or a class, is it the in the name of Allah, or is it the
Um,
Fatiha?
yes, we can conclude with Fatiha, but really it's whatever your heart feel like praying. Whichever is completely fine. Different
Okay,
sisters do it differently.
okay, yes, ma'am. 1 second. Okay, cover. I'll be right back, okay? Excellent. I am nannying, so I gotta get all the children awake. Okay. Attention prayer. Prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the day of requital. Thee do we serve, and thee alone do we beseech for help. Guide us to the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favor, not of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. Ameen.
Ameen. Allahu Akbar. Thank you so much for joining your call, sisters. May Allah bless your day. Please take a little walk. It's good for us. Look at the sky. Enjoy wherever you are. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy the children. and have a blessed day. Love you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.